And now for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Welcome to NCSSM's 40th Convocation. I have the pleasure of introducing our dignitaries today. Please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. NCSSM Chancellor Todd Roberts, Convocation Speaker Eric Trone, class of 1991, current member of the Board of Trustees and parent of an online program student. Vice Chancellor for Academic Programs Katie O'Connor, President of Student Government, Grace Dye. President of Student Senate, Isaiah Hamilton. Chair, NCSSM Board of Trustees, Tom Looney. Board of Trustees members, Paula Benson, Steve Griffin. Former NCSSM Executive Directors, Charles Elber, John Frederick. Foundation Board of Directors, Deborah Ives. Alumni Association Board Representative, Chris Paul, class of 2001. Parent Association Chair, Kim Spratley. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon to everybody. How are you? Good, good. I'm Todd Roberts, the Chancellor here at NCSSM, and it's my honor and pleasure to welcome everyone here today, our classes of 2020 and 2021 who are with us here in the auditorium, and our classes of 20 and 2021 in our online program who many are watching via live stream. I also want to welcome and thank our families who may be watching via live stream as well. For those of you here on campus, I hope you've all had a fantastic first few days here on school and are looking forward to the first day of classes tomorrow. Everybody looking forward to class tomorrow? Oh, yeah. We're very happy that you're all here and looking forward to a fantastic school year. I again want to thank our distinguished guests and faculty and staff who are here and all of you. It's wonderful to have many emeritus members of our faculty here with us, members of our Board of Trustees, our Foundation Board, Alumni Board, Parent Association, and in particular, I'd like to draw a note and thank Director Elber and Director Frederick for being here today. I thank for all of you who are here, the fact that they were here in the first 2 decades of the school's history and they're here to welcome you. I think that says a lot about the NCSSM community. I also want to take this opportunity to welcome and thank our alumni convocation speaker, Eric Trone. Mr. Trone is a member of the class of 1991, and as you will hear in a few minutes, he has had a truly amazing career. It's also wonderful to have some of the folks that Eric mentioned as influential in his time at NCSSM here, Chuck Britton, Dot Doyle, who were his teachers, a couple of his teachers here, so we want to welcome them here. And I know that everyone here, all of us, are really proud of your many accomplishments, Eric, and look forward to hearing what you have to tell us today. I'm pleased that we start each year with an address from an outstanding alumnus. One of the things that I found to be so special about NCSSM is the fond memories alumni have about their experience here and their willingness to give back to the school, whether it's through their financial support that allows us to provide all of you with the many opportunities that you have day in and day out during your 2 years at NCSSM, or whether it's by giving of their time and talent. And Eric is a shining example of someone who does both with amazing commitment. I'm looking forward to Eric sharing his story and insights with us here tonight, and for him providing all of you with a chance to dream about the possibilities that are yours to achieve in the years that lay ahead of each of you. Students, this afternoon marks the official beginning of NCSSM's 40th year. About this time in 1980, the very first class of 150 or so juniors was on campus, preparing for not exactly what they knew, as well as the faculty and staff, but what they hoped would be a time to explore the infinite possibilities of what this new idea, this new opportunity, this new school might offer them. That first class and those that followed in the first few years were truly pioneers. They didn't have an auditorium. They didn't have a cafeteria. They had an old hospital that they and the faculty there at that time laid the groundwork for what you have here today. They established the culture for NCSSM that many classes hence have built upon to make it NCSSM what it is today. So now here you all sit, the 680 students of the classes of 20 and 21, and our 400 online students that are a part of the classes of 20 and 21, with the many possibilities that lay ahead of you this year at NCSSM. Much has changed over 39 years, but what has not changed is that you are with talented students from all across North Carolina. You're here with outstanding faculty and staff, and you're here with the tremendous support of our state and the many friends of our school. And as was the case for students 39 years ago, you will find that these are the key ingredients of which your own infinite possibilities are made. To this point in your life, you've worked very hard to achieve success and lay the foundation for your future. Every student in this auditorium and across the state watching virtually has a success story to tell, or you would not be a part of the NCSSM program. Not all of your stories are the same. You come from all over this great state, representing nearly 90 of North Carolina's 100 counties. And you bring with you a diversity of experiences that make you all different people. And that's the beauty of this place. You're different in many ways, and you will learn so much from each other because of that, but you also share much in common. You all share the commitment to learning, being successful in school. You all have big dreams, and you all have a desire to accept the greater challenge. NCSSM is a place where each of you will write the next chapter in your story, and collectively, you will all help write the 40th chapter in the NCSSM story. And very likely, just like Eric today, 20 plus years from now, one of you will be speaking at Convocation, sharing your story and what your 2 years at NCSSM meant to you for the next generation of unicorns. The greatest thing about NCSSM is the people. It's the community that we all create together, all of us, that makes this place special. However, community does not just happen. We make it the way we want it to be. NCSSM has a long commitment to celebrate the diversity of thought and experience we are so fortunate to have on campus and in our programs. Given the events that we see and hear about us all around us on a daily basis, at no time has valuing our diversity of thought and experience been more important and required greater effort. Again, community does not just happen. We work to make it what we want it to be. That's why in our strategic plan we have placed an emphasis on how we can make sure we have a campus environment that values our diversity and inclusion and is welcoming for all, and is a place where we promote health and wellness so that each of you can thrive in our community and be prepared for life after NCSSM. To support these efforts, many of our students, faculty, and staff have been actively involved in our 3CDC committee work, our mental health and wellness committees, and the focus of much of our professional development has been in these areas. Also, many members of our community have been involved over the past 2 years in looking at what NCSSM graduates should be able to know and do when they leave NCSSM, and how we need to structure our requirements and the student experience to best create the environment that will help each of you achieve these outcomes. Through this work, we've developed recommendations that I believe will make a positive difference in the student experience in years to come, and we look forward to sharing these with you in the coming weeks. Our work on graduate visioning and our work on diversity and inclusion and on student wellness are not isolated efforts, but are intertwined in helping create the living, learning environment that inspires each of us to be our best, and all of us together to be better than we would be otherwise. As has been the case for the past 39 years, those in the NCSSM community have always worked to maintain the NCSSM experience that has been so formative for so many over the years. This has enabled students, whether from the classes of 1982 or 1991 or 2020, to meet and talk about their shared NCSSM experience, even though it was not the same exact experience. The great thing about this community over the years has been our ability to understand what makes the NCSSM experience special, and to hold true to that while understanding how to meet the needs of students in the place and at the time they are here. So while the NCSSM experience is, we hope, timeless, what makes it so is not. So members of the class of 2021, I know that you've been provided with a lot of information over the past few days, and I imagine that you might be a little overwhelmed at this point. But I hope that you are excited for what lies ahead and ready to take advantage of all the next 2 years have to offer. Let me tell you that while you not only have wonderful guides and the amazing faculty and staff who are here, but also in your seniors who are sitting right beside you. The members of the class of 2020 are wonderful, and I know they will play a large part in the story of your success. You're fortunate to have the seniors that you do. In class of 2020, I know you're also excited about what lies ahead for all of you this year. As I'm sure you know, senior year is a busy one. I always say I think the senior year is the busiest year at NCSSM, at least the first part of it, because you'll be working on college applications while you're living and learning here on campus. And as you're working on those college applications, you'll be thinking about and laying the foundation for what lay ahead in your next step on your educational journey. I encourage you to make the most of every minute of your next 9 months because come May, as happy as you will be to graduate, you will wish that you still had a little bit more time here. I'm sure of that. Students, with that in mind, just how fast your 2 years at NCSSM goes, I hope that each of you enjoys the year ahead. And at this time, I'd like to call on Dr. Katie O'Connor to introduce our convocation speaker. Welcome.
Thank you for your warm welcome, Dr. Roberts. It is my honor to welcome...
Welcome, Dr. O'Connor.
It is my honor to welcome everyone to NCSSM's 40th Convocation this afternoon. I'd also like to extend a warm welcome to all the online students who are joining us by live stream today. Seniors, we've made it to the final stretch of our high school career. In less than 10 months, we will be walking across the stage with diplomas in our hands, memories of late-night lock-ins and study sessions in our minds, and some of the most valuable friendships in our hearts. The past year has flown by, and I look forward to another one full of more memories, learning, and growth with you all. Juniors, congratulations on all your hard work and making it to one of the best high schools in the country. You are now beginning a significant new chapter of your life, one full of emotions that you may be feeling at this very moment: excitement, joy, and even a bit of fear as you take on a change or challenge. Now, what does taking on the change of coming to NCSSM mean? Think of a cycle with two components, opportunity and community. The two build on and feed into one another because NCSSM is both an opportunity for community and a community of opportunity. It's an opportunity to form a new one-of-a-kind community, one where you will be living and learning with the same people. Take a look around you right now. These people will become your second family in a matter of months. As we sit in this auditorium today, we are provided with the chance to meet people from across the state and form a network of relationships that will last a lifetime. Years down the road, you may find yourself visiting them across the country or coming back to serve as a faculty member or even host your wedding here. And when you meet another NCSSM alum, you will have an automatic connection because you both share a very special community. And for the second half of the cycle, a community of opportunity. Because we each have different backgrounds and experiences, we form a community of diverse thoughts, talents, and intellectual curiosities. This diversity gives us the opportunity to try or learn something new, to take risks and push each other to see new perspectives. I encourage you all to try something new this year. You may find yourself loving something you had never even heard about. My personal recommendation is joining a dance club for a cultural fest. I found practices to be one of the most enjoyable ways to wind down the day, and as a foodie, I've got to say that the festival dinners are quite delicious. So make the most of this community you have by seeking these opportunities to celebrate diversity and listen and learn from each other. As you seek these opportunities, your community here will naturally deepen, and this cycle is the essence of NCSSM. Of course, every change comes with its own challenges, and NCSSM is no exception. At times, you will feel nervous about going out of your comfort zone, frustrated about not achieving a certain goal, and even a little homesick. Perhaps for the first time, you'll encounter what you think is a failure. But at this time, I want you to keep this in mind. Every single one of you is here for a reason. What you think is a failure is simply an opportunity to begin again by accepting the greater challenge and further developing the skill sets that you'll need not only at NCSSM, but in the future too. Finally, as juniors and seniors, one of the questions you've probably been asked is, where do you want to go in life? Or what do you want to be when you grow up? We've all spent ample time crafting a response for adults, but have also wondered what the answer is ourselves. I'd like to share a quote from Michelle Obama's book, Becoming, that has helped me answer this question. For me, becoming isn't about arriving somewhere or achieving a certain aim. I see it instead as a forward motion, a means of evolving, a way to reach continuously towards a better self. The journey doesn't end. As we begin the school year, I hope you remember that you are not defined by arriving somewhere or achieving a certain aim. Your journey at NCSSM will be dynamic and it will be full of forward motion. So instead, embrace the ever-growing, evolving cycle of opportunity and community. Develop a desire to learn for the sake of learning and take risks. Dive into your passions and seek improvement towards a better self and a better community. And along the way, don't forget to stop, take a break, and cherish the sunset with your friends on Hill Street. Because time flies and the journey doesn't end. NCSSM is just the beginning, for the best years are yet to come. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Grace Dye. No, I'm just kidding. If I could be mistaken for Grace, that's a wonderful compliment. On behalf of academic programs, I would like to welcome all of our residential and online students in our class of 2020 and 2021, our faculty, staff, families, and NCSSM friends. I have the great privilege of introducing our convocation speaker for our 40th convocation, Eric Trone. He's a graduate of the class of 1991. So 30 years ago, as an incoming junior, he attended his convocation on August 20th, 1989. Eric applied to NCSSM after seeing his best friend apply. And the day the decision envelopes were mailed, he was at his friend's house. His friend opened his thin envelope and did not get in. So when Eric went home and saw that he had the same thin envelope, he threw it on the ground. Eric's dad, who had called the school a few months earlier to make sure his application was received and complete, picked up the envelope, opened it, and handed it to Eric, and encouraged him to read it. Eric was accepted. Eric had already skipped a grade at his home high school in Raleigh, but he wanted to be a higher version of himself. He wanted to be more outgoing, more engaged, and more confident. So NCSSM was the ideal fit for him. If you ask Eric what he learned at NCSSM, he will tell you that he learned to write, he learned to speak, he learned to communicate, and he also gained a lot of confidence. Eric mentioned several NCSSM employees who had made an impact on his life. Don Haupt, Chuck Britton, Dot Doyle, John Kalina, who was with us earlier today, Kevin Barkovic, and Susan Schmidt. Eric, she was unable to attend, but sends her greetings to you. When thinking about these mentors in his life, Eric said, "They all changed me." Eric's journey continued with a double major in computer science and computer engineering and a minor in math at NC State. By 22, Eric was manager at Red Hat. By 25, he had led the expansion of the company's engineering team from one himself to over 100 and played a key role in moving the company through an IPO while building the culture, the products, and the team. At 28, Eric left Red Hat and moved to Charlottesville to earn a master's degree in economics and founded a new company of his own called RPath. Eric mentioned that RPath taught him a lot of painful lessons, but that he learned more from RPath than he did from Red Hat. Then he received the opportunity to build an engineering team for Pendo, and he accepted it. He joined Pendo as a founder, and today there are Pendo employees around the world in San Francisco, New York City, London, Israel, and its corporate headquarters is in Raleigh. When I started in public education 25 years ago, I taught elementary school. And in my classroom, we had a jar, and we would collect words in the jar. So it's not a very creative title for it, but it was like our word jar. So we found words and texts and books and materials that we read, and we added really cool words to the jar. Now remember, when you're 8 years old and your literacy skills are blossoming, coming across cool words was fantastic. So we added words to the jar like ennui and kismet and callow and altruistic. And we had conversations about these words every time they went into the jar and came out of the jar. I remember the day that altruistic went into the jar. The children had a lot of questions about this word. And I explained to them that it meant being kind. It meant being generous. It meant having a big heart. And they got it. And so they wanted to do altruistic activities every month. And so we did that. After one of our activities, the children wanted to be recognized for their altruism. And I stopped and I told them, oh no, I failed you guys. I forgot to tell you the most important part of being altruistic, which is you do these kind and helpful tasks and you don't expect recognition. So there are no thank yous. There is no recognition. You do it because it makes you feel good inside. It makes you happy inside. So that night, they put their chairs up on their desks. They cleaned our classroom like I had never seen it so clean before. And not wanting any recognition, they hung a very sweet sign on our classroom door for our wonderful custodian, and it read, "All clean, skip our room tonight." So for 25 years, I have loved this word, altruistic, and I have met many amazing people who are charitable and humanitarian, and I've met many remarkable people who are humble and unpretentious, but I've never met a person that embodies both parts of that word until I met Eric a few years ago. Eric is open, he's down to earth, he gives advice honestly. He has two qualities which are my absolute favorite. He assumes positive intent, and he thanks and appreciates people. But he always finds a way to give the gift of his time. He's been on campus for foundation board meetings, then he's in the Woolworth room serving on a panel and talking to our students, which is one of his favorite things to do, about entrepreneurial opportunities. He's at board meetings as our board of trustee. In June, he was at our Morganton groundbreaking event, and he led the thrilling gasp when the school's largest gift of $5 million was announced from Carolina's healthcare system, Blue Ridge. And he's even meeting with Mr. Gibson next week to talk about curriculum. And this is all while being the founder and CTO of Pendo, overseeing an engineering team of 100 people. So he's very busy, but he's present. He's present for us, and he's extremely committed to NCSSM. He would say NCSSM was life-changing for him, but I would say his dedication, time, and gifts to NCSSM have been life-changing for us. He covers all the parts of the definition of my favorite word in the jar. He's philanthropic and benevolent and absolutely unassuming about it. So please help me welcome a true example of altruism, Eric Trone.
Thank you, Dr. Roberts, Dr. O'Connor, for all of that. If you've learned anything today from watching this and watching this experience, it's to go first. Because I don't know how to follow any of those words that were just said about me. It was very kind, very generous, and I don't think you actually know this, but our company has core values, and I'm just ad-libbing this, I wasn't going to say it. We have 7 of them, and we've talked a lot about adding an 8th, which is actually assume positive intent. It's very important to us at work. I encourage everybody to do it. It's so hard to understand where someone's coming from and so easy to think that they're looking out for themselves. They're probably just seeing it through their lens. So with that, I'm actually going to talk what I meant to say. Welcome to Science and Math for those of you who are new. Welcome back for those who are not. It's great to see some teachers. Thank you for coming out. It really does mean a lot. Thank you for the online students. I have to admit I have a huge bias towards the online students right now, not because my son is a senior in the online program, but mostly because they're watching because they want to and they can turn it off whenever they want. The rest of you, I apologize in advance. You cannot leave. You really can't. You're here. I made a lot of pages for an 8-minute talk, so we'll see how far I get. Can I ask everybody who's in 30s to raise your hand? So, thank you for taking care of my hall. 30 years ago, that was such a cheap line. I'm still proud of it. 30 years ago, I was going to say I was in your place. I was not in your place. I was probably sitting in a lawn chair because this room was not here. The gym was there, but it wasn't open. We weren't allowed to use it yet. They had 2 or 3 months left to go before we could start playing racquetball and basketball. It was the first year of John Frederick, who's here today with us. He had just joined. That didn't mean anything to me because it was my first year too. And our dorms had no internet. Science Math got its first internet connection that year. It was very, very slow on one computer. There was 1 telephone per hall. I'm going to guess there's more than 1 telephone in the audience right now. Can you imagine what this place is going to be like in 30 more years? It's just amazing. Really, oh my gosh, it's been an incredible journey. There's 3 things that are going to echo some of the things that that other people have said. Why is Science and Math special? First of all, it's special because of all of you. You left home, or you're taking time in the evenings. If you're online, you're coming for the weekends. You took a risk in applying. Applying to Science and Math was the second hardest thing I've ever done because you get rejected. The hardest thing I ever did was watch my son apply, for what it's worth. You laugh, but thank your parents for their patience the last 9 months, or 18 months, or however long it's been for you. But it starts with you. You bring learning and passion. You bring interest. You bring knowledge, but you bring energy. The teachers are phenomenal. Best set of teachers you'll ever meet. People who are really committed to this school. Every one of them could go make more money somewhere else. Every one of them could probably not spend their weekends driving buses and vans. They're making a real commitment to you, so appreciate that because they are phenomenal human beings. And Grace, you used the word community. It's a great community. I'm lucky to get touched by Science and Math people all the time. I want to say a special hello to a senior here who I saw Toy Story 4 with because she was 4 seats down from me and I don't know her name. It was at Alamo Drafthouse whenever that movie came out. By the way, there was 0 Toy Stories when I was here. She recognized me because I was wearing a Science and Math running shirt. And she said hello because of Science and Math. So how could you not? And it was really neat to meet her. We had a 30-second conversation. But you'll have that bond wherever you go. The students, the teachers, the community, the staff, the faculty, everybody involved in the school makes it really special. And finally, Science and Math is changing. I was counting on my fingers the other day, pretty literally. Juniors, you're the last class who will experience 1 campus of North Carolina School of Science and Mathematics. For me, that's pretty amazing. It's a nice round number. The 40th graduating class will have the last as 1 campus, and then Morganton will arrive. So if you have the chance to help with Morganton, if you're on a focus group or a panel, or you're having a conversation with a teacher, help us make that as wildly successful as you possibly can, because there's 350 kids, a lot like you, who didn't get to come here today. So give us a hand. Now, if you read the article that was extremely flattering about me online, I have good news. I am not going to just recount that article. I read it. I decided not to use any of those stories. It was very hard because even at my age, you only have so many stories, and you forget most of them. Instead, I want to talk about the 5 acts of my life. What are the 5 things? How do I divide my life into pieces? And what are the things that I learned at each stop along the way? It's really hard to stand up here in front of 700 people and inspire and motivate and excite and do all the things that Katie said I was supposed to do here today. I'm probably not going to do very many of them. What I'm going to hope to do is give you some ideas And I hope everybody in this room can listen to one. I hope one of them says something to you. One of them maybe changes the way that you think now, or in a month or in a year. You know, taken me kind of 30 years to put these things together. It's made me who I am. So let's start with Act 1, the North Carolina School of Science and Math. What did I learn here? I mean, obviously I learned a lot. I learned calculus. I'm sorry, Dr. Doyle, I don't use calculus. I learned physics, and I'm sorry, Dr. Britton, I don't use physics. So what did I really learn? I did learn to communicate. That was really important. Go read the web. You'll learn all about it. I also learned to say yes to things. I thought it was wonderful when you said try new things. Really, say yes to something you have not said yes to before. I was asked a very difficult question 90 days ago or 120 days ago to stand up in front of 800 people who I'd never met and tell them why they should be at science and math and how lucky they are. That's a hard yes, believe it or not. I have a meeting in California tomorrow. I had to move flights. My wife's out of town. I had to get babysitting. Like, all of these things happened, but I found a way to say yes because it was an opportunity I didn't know if I'd ever get again. How are you going to expand your comfort zone if you don't try new things? Don't stay narrow. Everybody here came in because you're probably really, really good at a couple things. You are probably the best person you've ever met, or one of the two or three people you've ever met who are best at something at your home school or your current school if you're online. But you need to be more than that. Don't just stay in your comfort zone. Say yes to something new, whether it's a new club, a new opportunity, new friends, people you wouldn't have talked to before, a new subject. Take that extra class that you don't know if you'll like or not. It'll all open you up to new ways of thinking, and those new ways of thinking will make you better at what you already love or what you're already good at. You're not going to like all the things you say yes to. That's okay. At least you'll have tried. You'll know what to say no. You'll know what to say no to sometime. You'll know how to get better focused. But you're going to love some things you say yes to. Embrace the hard. I love this one. Really, find things that are hard for you. You're not going to get better if you keep doing things you're already good at. You're not going to get better if you do things that you already like. Find things that are really difficult but mean something to you. I think everybody here has that gene already. I mean, you embrace something hard. You picked a really hard path right now. I bet every one of you guys would have been in the top 1% of your graduating classes. You all would have gone to great schools. You took a harder road. If you're a junior here, enjoy your first semester. I still remember mine. If you're a senior here, enjoy your last semester, because I still remember mine. One's easier than the other. This is a lot harder than what you're going to do in college. I have yet to meet an alumni who says science and math is easier than college. This is probably the pinnacle of your academic career for the next 2 years. It's hard. Embrace it. What did I do that was hard at science and math? I did a fractals class that was really difficult. John Kalina, who decided to leave early, because I think he'd heard enough of me when I was 17, that was a very hard class for me. It was very difficult. I did fine in it, but I learned a lot about myself and how to challenge myself. I did a very challenging special project week project. It's called Mini-Term now. And while I was doing some of those projects, other students were doing easier things. A very good friend of mine did a cooking project. It was not a challenge for him. He had a much easier special projects week than I did. He had a really easy week. He cooked some food, he ate, he came and watched us struggle. You know, nice guy. End of that story, by the way, is he introduced me to my wife. But I was really glad I did the hard thing. If you want to hear more about the hard thing, read the article online. I won't bore you with it. Act 2 was Red Hat. I was incredibly fortunate coming out of college to find Red Hat. What did I really learn at Red Hat? First of all, embrace opportunity. Go find opportunity. You will get opportunities in your life to do something special. I hope you can recognize them. I know that I've been lucky and fortunate to grab the 5 I'm talking about today. I know I've missed others. I've seen them pass by. But if you're not aggressive, if you don't reach out, if you don't grab on, opportunity only knocks so many times. You've got to be ready to answer the door. I turned down a PhD. I should have one of these fancy things on my sleeves, I think. I had a full ride when I went to Red Hat, but I had an opportunity to go do something different and something special. Turns out there's a lot of people with PhDs, no offense. And what I did at Red Hat made me a different person. When the opportunity hits you, you're going to have to, the opportunity doesn't make success. Opportunity and really hard work come together. But you have to find that opportunity, and then you're going to work really, really hard. If you love what you do, if you love the opportunity you're pursuing, if you're excited about what you're doing, you're probably going to be incredibly successful doing it. For me, that was in technology. It was in building companies. It was around building technology communities and helping engineers grow. For you, it might be around green science. It might be teaching elementary school kids. It doesn't matter what it is. Find the thing that gets you excited. You're going to spend a lot of time after you get out of college at work. I mean, a lot of time. Best case is 40 hours a week, folks. That's a lot. That's like sleeping time, right? It's all you do. Some days it's going to be a lot more. Make sure you pick something you love, not something you like, not something you do because you read a U.S. News and World Report saying that we need more of them and it's going to pay really well. Because if you don't like it, you're going to be miserable. The happiest people I know and the most successful people I know absolutely love their jobs. I think you're surrounded by faculty and staff here who are at Science and Math because they love what they do every day. You can hear it in their voice in meetings. You can feel their passion. Everybody I'm talking to can hear me is at Science and Math because they love something. Find a way to do that. You're going to have a very hard time in life if you don't do it. And your success will follow your passion. Finally, what else did I learn at Red Hat? Surround yourself with excellence. The only piece of management advice I ever got in my career at Red Hat was A players hire A players, B players hire C players. Why is that? Because B players are scared to hire anybody better than themselves. They think it'll make them look bad. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room because then I'm not learning anything. And I'm fortunate, I'm judged by how, if I hire people better than me, it makes me look good. If you surround yourself with people smarter than you, then you're going to get smarter. You're going to learn from them constantly. If you're the smartest person in the room, find a different room. Find a better place to be. One of the ways we live that value in my current role is I interview every engineer I hire. And we have 100 of them. I've interviewed them all, which means I interview people pretty much every day. And why do I do it? Because the only thing I can do to really help a company of 350 people succeed is to find another 350 incredible people to join us. Act 3 was my family. I'm very lucky. A year ago, actually not even that, 9 months ago, I had my 20th anniversary with my wife. Very happy about that. I have 3 wonderful sons, 8th grade, 10th grade, and 12th grade. They've taught me a lot. You know, I've had a lot of success in my career. Nothing felt better than my son getting into Science and Math online. He loves online, loves his homeschool, but he wanted to try harder. They've taught me to listen. Listening is hard. Everybody out here is hearing me, but hopefully you're listening kind of in and out. I know it's a long day. But listening is hearing what people are saying. Because so many of us go into a room and we hear people say what we think they're saying. We hear them say what we think they should be saying. But how often do you hear what they are saying? Critical listening is a skill. I hate to tell you this, you're all 15, 16, 17, 18. You probably stink at it. I think I'm okay at it. I kind of got okay with it. Not kidding, when I was about 42, I remember when I started changing how I listened to people. You could do better than me. Learn to listen. Learn to what they're listen to what they're saying and why they're saying it. I'm not joking. The next bullet point was assume good intent. Assume that they're saying things because from their point of view and where they are, it makes sense. Once in a while, you'll meet someone where that's not true. You'll figure it out. But for everybody else, you're going to have better communication and better partnership if you assume that they're saying things for a reason and you hear what they're saying. There's something there. There's a reason they're talking. Give back. Katie said a lot about altruism. I probably can't one up that. But I do try to give to causes I care about. I do try to spend my time on things that are important to me. The reason's really simple. There's a lot of people who put me where I am who have made me successful. My kids have helped make me successful, believe it or not. My wife, my parents, teachers, some of whom are in this room, mentors, people who have helped me learn and find my way. My coworkers help me every day. They make me better. I need to find a way to acknowledge that I didn't do it alone. I've been very, very lucky in my life. I've had a degree of success that I hope everybody here can share in someday. And I need to find ways to help make that happen. So I do give time whenever I can. When this is online, I'll repeat it. When Dr. Roberts asked me to do this board of trustees position, I had no time to do it, and I said yes because he said Morganton to me. And all of a sudden, I had pictures in my mind of the kids who barely made it into Science and Math, of the folks who came from the rural counties, the people who I met later on who said, wow, you went to Science and Math. My parents wouldn't let me apply because it was too far. And I thought Morganton solved a lot of those problems. So I had to say yes. That was giving back. That's one of my ways of giving back. Money is obviously a way to give back. And both really matter. We can't have Science and Math unless we pay for it. It turns out people need to eat. You guys need equipment. You need plane tickets to math competitions in Shanghai. All of this takes money. Money is really important. As you grow, as you have your success, as you have your kids and you're looking back as a 35-year-old at your time of science math, please remember the school. I know Dr. O'Connor mentioned me as a supporter of the school, but the person for me who embodies this is a man named Carl Ryden. If you were here last year, you heard about Carl Ryden giving a $2 million gift to build an AI program at Science and Math. That's amazing. He's had great professional success that he could go afford to do that. We should all be really grateful for that. But that's not what impresses me about Carl. Carl runs a company called, whose name I can't remember. Precision Lending. Sorry, there's a company called Precision Insight, and I keep getting this too confused. Precision Lending. And he's a CEO of a company that's growing very, very fast, very successful, lots of customers, and somehow he finds time to come to Science and Math to teach a class. And that kind of dedication to what made him win, to what made him special, really shows in everything he does. And it's okay to wait to give back. Wait till you've had the success and you're in a place of comfort. Do it because you can and you want to, and you can give everything. It's okay to focus on you right now. That's really why you're here. My fourth company was a company called RPath. RPath was a different kind of act. Those other three were very successful for me. RPath failed. It really failed. I mean, it failed hard. And there's nothing like going through tens of millions of dollars of somebody else's money. The only thing worse is going through tens of millions of dollars of your money. I learned a lot from that too. I learned that winning is really hard. It's very difficult. I got really lucky at Red Hat. We grew it really well. It was probably right place, right time. A whole bunch of things came together. We worked really hard. RPath taught me that timing matters. Sometimes things aren't going to go your way because of timing. Your idea really does matter, but hard work probably matters more. Economy, market, luck. Don't take a failure as a personal failure, but accept failure. I left RPath. I had a lot to figure out. But look, everybody fails. I bet nobody in this room has really failed yet on this side of the stage. Everybody on this side of the stage has failed. Nobody on this side of the stage. But you will. You might fail a test at Science and Math and you've never failed a test before. You might not get into the college you really wanted to, or you might not get the scholarship you needed to be able to pay your way. What are you going to learn from your failure? It's okay to fail. Well, everybody does it. We all fail. It's failing twice or 3 times. Maybe 4 times is the problem. You'll probably fail the same way twice. It's all right. Just keep trying to learn. When something really goes badly in your life, ask how you can get better. What are you going to do next time? How are you going to improve? When I flunked my first analog circuits class at NC State, and I remember I went from Science and Math to NC State. This is not exactly increasing the challenge in every way. It's a great school. I don't know how many Science and Math grads are behind. Are there state grads behind me? They're all... Look, again, this is the hardest place you're going to go to school. My first quiz in my first class at State, I got a 40 on. I didn't see a 40 ever. My whole time at Science and Math. I had to really look myself in the eye and figure out what the heck just happened. My attitude probably had something to do with it. So I had to learn to get better. I got an A in the class, but I worked my butt off. I learned. RPath also taught me I can be a selfish leader. I get really tied up in what's important to me, what I'm looking at. What do I have to get done? What's on my to-do list? I hear you in marketing talking. Please stop. I need to do my job. I hear you in sales. I need to do my job. That doesn't make for a successful company. So I have to get better. I have to be careful about that. Even today, I can be blind to my own failing there. I didn't always listen to ideas from other people. Red Hat was so successful, I must have known everything, right? I didn't know everything. That's one of the reasons I didn't learn to listen to my final job. And I learned surrounding yourself with excellence is very hard. It sounds easy, but boy, most people are just not. Even if they're excellent at something, they may not be excellent at what you need. Act 5 is Pendo. Pendo's been an amazing experience. I shouldn't get to do it twice. I have gotten to do it twice. Today, actually, I'm going to kind of brag on Pendo for a second. Inc. magazine put Pendo as number 73 on their list of 500 fastest growing companies in the United States. That's pretty awesome for Raleigh, North Carolina. That's not something that happens very often. And that success and where I am right now, I'm incredibly grateful for, but I've learned teamwork. I didn't have teamwork before. I learned I cannot do it alone. None of us can do it alone. I've learned great things are built by great teams. I've been blessed with the people who are around me, the people who have elected to join us on this journey with my co-founders. I've learned that things I can do to help are leading, contributing, recruiting, encouraging. Everybody here can help a team this year. And one of the things I think is really hard to understand is when colleges say they're looking for leadership. Well, there's 700 of you. Yes, Grace has gotten elected to a leadership position. Not everybody here is going to be elected to a leadership position, but everybody can lead. Whether it's leading a group of 4 working on a project together, whether it's leading the robotics, helping to run the first robotics competition, whether it's helping to lead a flag football team. Leading is an attitude. It is someone who is helping to get things done. It is not someone who is giving commands and where everybody else follows orders. It is about putting yourself up as a role model, someone people want to be like, someone they want to follow, and it can just be your attitude while you're following somebody else. Find ways to contribute to teams and encourage a team's success. And commit to the team. The team's going to win and lose together most of the time. I'm individualistic. I don't like that fact, but it's true. We cannot build things in this world by ourselves. And practice it now. Practice it every day. It'll get easier because it's not natural. I've talked about how communication isn't just standing up here and speaking. Talked about how it's listening to what people are saying. One of my things I remind people, because I promote people to be managers for the first time. And they go and they talk to their teams, and I said, well, what did you say? It didn't seem like that went well. I said, oh, I said this, and I said this, and I said this, and I said this, and I said this. I said, all right, I asked the wrong question. That's something. I said, what did they hear you say? Because it doesn't matter what you say. I can control what comes out of my mouth, but my responsibility is what's going into your ears and what you're hearing. Right? I don't know if anybody's still on YouTube. They might have all turned off by now. If they turned off, that's on me. That's not on them. That means I didn't engage them. If you're giving a message to somebody about something, a place they need to improve or something they did really well, you got to put it in a way they can hear, something that is compatible with where they are in the moment. It's hard. Don't shy away from it. Finally, effective communication requires repetition. I don't have the time to repeat myself. You're probably glad that. But just because you're tired of saying something doesn't mean it's been heard. They talk about, if you do manager and executive training, a trope is that you have to say something 7 times for it to be heard inside of an organization. 7 times is a lot. I get tired of it after twice. But there's so many people, folks who are on their phones, people who are fiddling with their laptops, people who are doing other things. If you don't say it over and over again, it doesn't matter. It's like you didn't say it at all. That is not the responsibility of the person not listening. That's responsibility for you not speaking. And if you don't believe me, figure out how to, because it's going to make you successful. You won't succeed otherwise. One of the most important things I've learned at Pendo is to say thank you and to say well done. I do have a great team. My team, many of them know they're great. But every time an executive or a peer or an employee says, hey, I really appreciate you doing that for me, or you know what, you really did a great job on that, it means something. None of us is so independent and so self-sufficient that we don't appreciate our peers and our friends and our mentors and our employees thanking us for things and telling us that we did a good job. Be generous in your praise. It doesn't cost you anything. It's very, very hard to say thank you, well done, and I'm sorry. They're 3 of the hardest things in the English language, I think, and probably every other language. If Dr. Haupt was here, my Russian teacher, he could tell us how many languages have that. In fact, he spoke 7. Find out how to use those words in ways you're comfortable with. Everybody will appreciate it, and you'll feel better about yourself. So I'm done. That's everything I've learned in the 5 acts of my life: science and math, Red Hat, my family, RPath, and Pendo. Work hard. I encourage you to really take advantage of the opportunity you've been given. It's an amazing opportunity. It's one that has formed me. It's made me who I am. I've been incredibly lucky in my life, as I've said. I've been a student at the School of Science and Math. I've been a foundation board member helping to raise money to pay for trips and to pay for things that students here need. I'm a trustee now, helping to shape Morganton in every way I can. I'm a parent, probably the most special journey of all for me, in all honesty. I've also been a mentor and an employer to science and math graduates. I have one working for me right now. 19-year-old taking a semester off before he goes back to school in the spring. Science and math is a community of learners. It's a community of excellence. It's a community of challenge and hard work. And it's excellent. You'll never be sorry you came here. You're never going to be sorry for what it sets you up to succeed. So I do encourage you to accept the greater challenge that you've embarked on today, or you embarked on 12 months ago. And thank you very much for listening. I have seen incredibly few cell phones. I don't know how you did that. They must not have let you take them into the audience. But I appreciate everybody's attention. Good luck. Congratulations on being here. This is a special place.
So Eric, again, thank you so much for your words this afternoon, but even more importantly, what you do day in and day out, year in and year out for NCSSM. So we appreciate that, and want to present you with one of the prints from Joe Lyles, who was the first art teacher here at NCSSM, and so congratulations for that, and thank you so much for all you said this evening.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So as we close this, our 40th convocation at NCSSM, I'd like to take a minute to thank all of those who made today possible, the folks that worked to plan this, our musicians in the orchestra and chorale, Mr. Laird, Mr. Stunts, thank you for helping make this a special event this afternoon. And also to thank all of our many guests that are here. Thank you all for attending, to be here to support Eric. And Eric, you did a great job. I really appreciated your words. They were fantastic. And thanks to all of our faculty and staff who've done amazing work to get the school year off to a great start. So thanks for everything that you've done to prepare us to get the year going. So the start of the school year is always filled with great excitement and possibilities that come with starting anything new. So as you experience and learn and struggle over this year, always remember, like Eric said, to find time to enjoy. You'll learn from those struggles, and you'll learn from enjoying what you're doing as well. I want you to remember what got you here, your commitment to learning, your motivation, and your drive to challenge yourself to your highest ability and beyond. And over the next year or two, you'll have greater opportunities and greater challenges than ever before, and every one of you has the talent and determination to be as successful here as you have been anywhere before. Every member of our faculty and staff are here to help you succeed, and you will find that there are no more amazing or committed professionals anywhere. I think you heard that from Eric, who has gone from here. He said that he's had experiences at other universities and beyond, and so I think you should know that everyone here is here to support you, and they're amazing. So however it is, your commitment to being successful, and all of the things that I had just mentioned are extremely important, but the single most important thing to your success here and beyond is your commitment to your success. So make sure that you keep that in mind. And I encourage you, as many of the speakers have said before, to take advantage of the many opportunities that you'll have at NCSSM, whether in the classroom, research labs, on campus or off, the playing fields, the stage, or out in the community providing service to others, or on hall. Explore your interests, grow your passions, and strive for your best while helping those around you be better. It is this striving for your best while working to help those around you be better that is the essence of our community. A place where we work to be our best while at the same time working to build each other up. It's a place where we learn from and celebrate our differences. Ours is a community where two people who may be hundreds of miles apart literally in where they live and worlds apart figuratively in their experiences prior to coming to NCSSM can room together and become lifelong friends. It is for these and the many other reasons that I marvel at our community, where for 39 years the people have made the place. A place where we work to be our best while striving to help each other and our community be better. This is what's timeless about NCSSM, and this year is yours and our moment in time, and I look forward to sharing it with you. At this time, I would like to ask our chorale to come up and join us all, if you would please stand in singing the Alma Mater. Thank you. And so following the recessional, I would encourage everyone to join us out on the lawn for a picnic. And again, thank you, and let's have a fantastic school year.